Hi, welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me. I am doing my infills for the first time because, to be honest, I normally take them off. So this bit is just me whizzing through. I filed back to any lifting, prepping my new brush there. As you can see, my brand new brush from Nail Vanity Acrylic Systems. That is a size 10. So I'm just making sure all the stuff that holds the brush together isn't there. And all this bit is speeded up for you because it's a little bit dull. So we crack on. Burping my brush, I'm getting rid of all the bubbles. As you can see on my nails, I have taken it right back. But I fancied a bit of a baby boomer type nail. So I'm going in with Nail Vanity's Acrylic System Blushed, which is beautiful. It's a lovely colour, as you can see. I'm just popping it up to the cuticle with my brush and blending it down and making sure it doesn't bleed into the side walls. Now this is the easy hand I'm doing now. So I'm doing my left hand with my right hand, and shortly after I've done this one you will see it the other way around. Not so easy. So I'm just dragging that blushed down until I'm happy with the fade, and then I think I get another little wet bead just to blend that a little bit further. There we go, tiny wet bead. Oh, I'd obviously missed a bit, but it's such a lovely acrylic to work with, it really is, because I am a beginner, so nice acrylic to work with. I need. I don't want the difficult stuff. This is lovely, it's beautiful. I think I speed it up now because otherwise it's going to be pretty dull. Yep, so in with the cuticle bead. Just tapping behind that bead of acrylic to make it flush with the cuticle and dragging it down for that blend. Yeah, that is sped up. Using the belly of my brush to drag the product down my finger. I always get lifting on my middle fingers. I'm a foot health practitioner. Well, I kept this bit in because it was a rubbish bead and I needed to get it off, and then I started to panic because I thought it's not coming off. Oh my god. Anyway, there we go. I got it off. New bead. The bead was too dry, and that's no good. That's not going to work. So popped it back on again. Yeah, I'm a foot health practitioner, so I work with an e-file and sharp nippers and scalpels and whatnot, so my nails are always lovely until my next job, and then I tend to file chunks out, and my middle fingers on both hands seem to get the brunt of it. I don't normally do an infill on myself actually, I normally take them all off and start again, but yeah, suffering with my leg a little bit at the minute. Just trying to make life a little bit easier for myself. So again, into the cuticle, into the side, making sure it's not flooding the side walls, and then using the belly of my brush to drag that product down and blend nearer the white there. Same with the little finger, cleaning up the side walls and the cuticle area, then dragging that product in. And I do cap these, and I cap these not because I mean the blushed core is a strength, it's a core powder, but because I am guilty of filing, then filing again, then going back and filing a bit more, so I'm just protecting that blend that I've created, from my over-enthusiastic filing. So pulling it back to the cuticle, so every bit of that nail is then capped with clear. That is Nail Vanity's clear as well. I think it's called Crystal Clear. So nice to work with. I've used other clears and had my brush clogged, but you know, I am a beginner and it does happen. You'll have to excuse the underside of my nails as well. I've got a spicy marinade. I do clean them out afterwards, I promise. That chili stuff stains everything, doesn't it? So again, I'm capping all of these. I might speed this up, I can't remember whether I did or I didn't. If you hear sloppy noises in the background, it's my dog who's decided to clean his slippers. I say his slippers, they're my slippers that he's determined are his. It's his baby, he carries around and he cleans them. How can I resist? Trying to maintain my shape. I know that they all need reshaping, but the least amount of filing the better, because like I said, I am over enthusiastic with my filing. This is why my nails get ruined. Look at them. Using them as tools. Naughty, naughty Amanda. So I've obviously flooded my side wall. I go in and make that right before I put my clear on there. Told you, I'd leave my mistakes in. We all start somewhere. So when I'm putting my brush into my acrylic, I'm bouncing it. I don't drag it along. I'm bouncing it. I pull my brush out and I check my bead for the look. And I know that's a strange and ambiguous thing to say, but there's a certain look of it looks a bit glossy, but it's not running. And then I know my bead is ready to put on my nail. Drag that down the nail, and the excess I'm just trying to pick off there. Just having a good check round that nail now. Make sure there's nothing stuck underneath. So it's Father's Day today in England, and I'd like to wish all the good fathers out there happy Father's Day. Constantly cleaning my brush as well. That's because I've had one too many clogged brushes for my liking. So just constantly make sure it's clean, and when I've finished a set of nails as well, I always clean my brush immediately. Dried acrylic in your brush is not good. It's a nightmare. Tiny drop I need there. Ah yes, when I filed them back to you know, take the apex off and make sure there was no lifting, I accidentally filed a chunk out of that nail. So, well, I say a chunk, it was a tiny little triangle, so I was just replacing that bit that I'd filed out of it. And I'm making sure that I've got my apex in all my nails as well now, because that's where your strength is. Now the dog's going to start playing with something. Des? What you doing? So I'm just making sure after filing there is absolutely no dust whatsoever, because it will get in that top coat, and it did, because I hadn't got rid of all the dust, and you'll see that on one of the nails, but I do go back and take it off later. So I'm top coating with Nail Vanity's HEMA free top coat. It's a no wipe top coat, and it's beautifully glossy and shiny. Using Nail Vanity's size 10 acrylic brush today. That was my brand new brush that I prepped earlier, as you saw. And here we are. Pretty baby boomers, if that will focus for us. And then I do my other hand. So I have filed it all back. I've lost one of them. Again, middle finger, like before. I filed them all back. I have cleaned them all off, and now I'm putting the dehydrator and the primer on. I actually dehydrate my nails more than once because I have an oily skin. And because my hands are always in water or foot cream or something, you know, just like to make sure. You're going to see me sculpting with my non-dominant hand. So here we go. This is a young nails sculpting form. I do love a long nail, I must admit, but because of my job, I keep them at a certain length. I mean, they're not short, but I have had them longer. So I'm just making sure that lines up, it's not pointing down, and that the centre line is following the centre line of my nail. Trying to pinch it in so that there's a nice C curve. Sorry about my dog in the background. And making sure that it goes underneath that nail so the acrylic will flow down the free edge and not underneath. So for the bottom part of this nail, obviously the rest of the nails have got the white on already from the last set. This is Nail Vanity's Blizzard White. So I'm just putting it on the nail line, then blending back so there's no nasty line when I do my my blend with my blushed core. This is a core powder again, but as before, I do cap them all. So I'm patting and pressing with that brush. I've blended it backwards. I would continue to blend backwards, and I'm making sure that it's running from straight out from the side walls there to give it some shape. I'm constantly reshaping the sides there to try and minimize any filing as well. And I'm checking to see if it's the right length in comparison to the nail on the other hand of the same finger. And pat and press to drag that product down to the length. I think I add another bead because it's not quite long enough, but I am pat pressing and pulling that product down the form. Just checking again, look. So I go and get myself another little bead just to bring the length out a tiny bit more at the end there. Blending it in with the previous bead and making sure the sides stay as they should. Quick reshape. And I will in a minute clean that acrylic out of that brush. It's driving me mad watching. Here we go. Good. So back to the blushed core from Nail Vanity. Bouncing my brush into the acrylic, popping that bead close but not on the cuticle, so I can get my brush behind it, behind the bead, and try and make it flush with the cuticle and stop it flooding the side walls. And then I pat and press to drag that product down the nail until I'm happy with the blend. I believe I go in with another bead yet. I don't know, faff. There we go. Making sure it's all nice and flush. So back to the thumb. My blushed core. Popping it near the acrylic. Near the acrylic, it is acrylic. Near to the cuticle and pulling down to create that blend. Monitoring my side walls as I go. There we are, just cleaning up. Bouncing my brush into the acrylic, tapping off, and I pop another bead on there. brush off. Pushing that product into place and then very gently moving over the top to drag it down for the blend. Already using my new nails on my left hand as tools. Well done, Mand. So you can see that the nail had lifted quite a lot. I had to file it back quite a lot. My right hand is my dominant hand, and I use my fingers a lot in work. I do tend to get lifting on that finger. I'm determined not to though, every time I build my nails. But I've never done an infill. I always replace my nails, always, so this was interesting for me. Never done an infill on myself. I was amazed at how much cuticle growth I'd got as well. But I use the Nail Vanity tools, they're fantastic. Cuticle nippers are beautiful, they're sharp and they don't pull and tear and tug at your skin. Now on the ring finger and the pinky on both hands, when I did them last time, I added some glitter to the white, which I've left in because I quite like it. I quite like it underneath that blush, and I don't mind that it's only those two fingers either. Onto my pinky. I've got tiny little pinky nails. Cleaning around that cuticle. Patting that product into place. I think I get a small wet-ish bead now. I've obviously missed a bit. There we go. So my other half has gone to Skeggy for the day. He's taking the little one and his dad. I'm at home doing this because I had the option to go, but I've hurt my leg, and I know walking around Skeggy, as much as it would have been lovely, fish and chips by the sea and all that, not good for me in the long run. So I stayed home. So I'm going in now to cap that nail, as I will with all of the nails. Being careful around the cuticle area and the side walls, and just dragging it down with the belly of the brush. Just a tiny thin nail just to cap that blend. Obviously use a little bit extra at the end, make sure it's nice and smooth all the way through. I don't think I'll keep the capping of all of them in. I'm a lot less messy doing my dominant hand now with my non-dominant hand. I used to make an awful mess. Still lots of room for improvement, but you know, you don't try, you don't do you? You've got to keep trying to get any better. It'd be very easy to give up, especially when you see all these wonderful videos which I have learned so much from, and they produce such beautifully perfect nails. So I'm filing this middle nail because if you remember I had to sculpt that one. I'm just taking the edges off and thinning it out a little bit before I cap it, just so that I can reduce some of the bulk. I don't want a chunky nail. So, capping that now. This bit's all sped up for you. As a beginner, I am qualified, don't get me wrong, I am qualified, but I'm newly qualified. Is there anything you'd like to see me do? I will give it a go. It might be a disaster, but you know, I will give it a go. There we go, it's the finished products. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please pop me a like, or even better, subscribe. See you next time.